Greetings, welcome once again to the Fandom Symposium. I'm Thomas Drovin, and with me are my good friends, pen pals, and internet users, Puget723 and Iris. G'day, girls.
What's up?
Hello.
How many subscribers do I have? I'm almost at 220 subscribers, and you guys wanted it. You guys didn't want to wait. I love you guys. God damn it, you guys need to chill. We are doing a DC Comics podcast. Okay?
Yeah!
Be happy.
We would like to remind you once again that Iris means to offend everyone, but we try not to offend anyone who has their own personal opinions on DC Comics in any way or whatsoever. These are our own just personal opinions. We don't mean to upset anyone or upset their view or contradict what they think about their version of DC Comics in every way. You know, we love DC Comics, alright people, so we don't want no problems, okay? Isn't that right?
I'm kind of iffy about loving DC Comics because of the whole New 52 nonsense. But, yeah.
Let's not talk just yet.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that later. And if you guys... Yeah, we'll get to that in about 3 weeks from now. We'll get to that, yeah. If you guys, out there in the audience, we're doing this podcast every other week. So this week we are talking about Superman. Next week...
Yes, the big S.
Next week will be Wonder Woman. The week after that will be Batman. Sorry guys, I'm saving Batman for last because he's the goddamn Batman and he needs to be saved for last. And then after that we'll just be talking about DC Comics in general.
Yes, and all the lovely things that are based on it, thanks to DC Comics. Like their shows. If you're not familiar with DC Comics, we'll talk about the shows. At least you're familiar with those.
How'd you guys get into DC Comics?
Alright, ladies first, Iris, you can go for a change if you want.
Comics. I remember watching some of the episodes of the Batman animated series and a couple of the Justice League animated series episodes. I vaguely remember watching the old Batman movies in my youth and of course the old Superman movies, but I didn't actually get into it until Birds of Prey came out right before the New 52. Gail Simone did a run of Birds of Prey. Mm-hmm. And I remember to the comic book store and they had issue 1 and so I bought that and after that is kind of when I really got into it. For me personally. No, I lied. I started getting into it, now I remember, because Fuja wanted to roleplay.
Right, that's what it was.
But I knew absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, I had watched some episodes here and there, but it wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
But I wanted to roleplay with her, so I did so much fucking research on Batman, on the Robins, on everybody and everything.
Oh, there's hope for you yet.
That's how I got into it. After that is when I went to the comic book store looking for a comic to buy, and I ended up getting Birds of Prey. So you're to blame, Pooja, for my obsession now with DC Comics.
I blame Batman Under the Red Hood for getting me into comics. It's God damn it, that movie! It's getting me into this whole new thing. Yeah, that's how, I was already a big fan of, DC with their animated shows, Batman, the animated series, Superman, the animated series, Justice League, Teen Titans, Young Justice. I was already a DC fan through, their television,
Yes, but nothing serious, of course.
But I never read, any of the comics. Maybe, when Teen Titans came on, I read maybe, a couple of the comic books, but, I wasn't really that into it. And then, that freaking movie, Batman and the Red Hood, it just blew my mind. It's I needed to know more about who the hell this Jason Todd character is. Yeah. It's what? And then after I got, my first comic and I did all my research and I was I need this trade, I need this trade, I need all these trades. God damn it.
Yes, you do.
It's that one movie, it just got me hooked and it's damn it. It's my whole scenario with getting into comics is worse than drugs. I became a legit comic book addict.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not something illegal, like drugs. at least, you pay for it, but at least it's legal and everything like that, So I need my DC high. When's the next comic coming out? Or something like that.
Yeah, and I'm glad that, I have an iPad and I can actually, download the comics, each month. So it's I don't have to go to a store every month and buy the comics, and I can just wait for the trades and get that.
I like going to the comic book store and browsing through all the comics and stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's just what I didn't. It's nice that it's the digital stuff, because I did have a bunch of comics on my tablet, from New 52. When they started coming out, I was getting them all.
Yeah.
But for me, nothing beats going into the actual comic book store and just being surrounded by all those, issues and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff to have a look around. It's so much fun.
I still do that. I'll go into the comic book store and, I'll look at, all the comics and, if I really, really want it. But it's, kind of hard, every single month when a new issue comes out. That's, kind of ridiculous. And you can spend $3. Over here, I don't know how much comic books cost over there, Thomas, but over here I think, one individual issue is, $3, and it's, you can, buy, a full McDonald's meal with that kind of money, so.
No, I do. Well, as for me, how I got into DC Comics, the very earliest I can remember was I did buy a comic book. I did have a comic book it had Superman in it and Wonder Woman. It was one of those ones where it had 2 adventures and an extra one at the back. Superman battling Mr. Mxyzptlk, the bloke from the 5th dimension, and Wonder Woman with her invisible plane having to deal with some scientists who developed a shrinking formula. Some bloke wanted to sell it illegally for warlike purposes, and she interfered, but she gets sprayed with it, and she ends up about the size of a fly, even though flies still have a problem with her and everything like that. That was the earliest I can remember reading in comics. Later, as I grew up with the traditional, here in Australia in the 80s, they were showing the 60s version of Batman and everything like that, with Adam West and Burt Ward. That's what got the ball rolling, and so I was familiar with some of the characters when I heard about Teen Titans and everything like that, and I started. I remember I had a small black and white version of the new Teen Titans, of their very first adventures together, how Robin was having dreams of how he met these people, some he knew and others he didn't, and how eventually it would lead to the formation of the Titans, Deathstroke the Terminator, Slade Wilson, and the very first appearance of the Hive Five, as it were, or the Fearsome Five, as they were called in the comic. And then later on came the Batman the Animated Series and stuff, and then I really started to get the ball rolling as I was so interested to see all these characters that had cropped up, and I'm thinking to myself, where have you been all my life? And I started reading the comics and collecting. I started collecting the special book versions, like the ones where they have the special stories of interest together, like some classic ones, and then mid-20th century ones, and then modern day ones and stuff like that. So yeah, that got the ball rolling, and especially now I enjoy my DC Encyclopedia book, which I've got, which naturally will probably have to be updated after the next 50 years or so.
I might have to steal that from you, Thomas.
Steal what?
Your DC, the DC Encyclopedia.
I can get you one for Christmas. I know where to find one.
I have the DC, the character encyclopedia. Is that the same thing?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Okay, so I have that too.
It's a bit more updated.
It's not that...
It's freaking huge. It's so beautiful.
Yes, it is.
And all I have is the Batman one. I'm like, crap.
Well,
I feel left out now.
It's probably outdated by today's standards, because we've had a milestone and everything like that, so they'll probably have to redo it again. Yeah, but it does include 52 universes, the ones that they've shown currently.
Yeah.
But now we're going to talk about a man who's faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, fighting for truth, justice, and our way of life. It is... Okay, yes. Superman. Now, back to the big S.
So
yes.
Superman.
Indeed.
Was created in 1933, not by DC Comics, but by 2 guys from in a high school, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Created in 1933, they sold him to DC Comics in 1938, and that's when he made his first appearance.
Oh, I see. But I've got a book on dumb history, and it turns out the blokes who actually sold it to DC Comics, they sold it for a ridiculous small amount of money, but it was
$130.
How much?
$130.
$130, and by today's standards, their descendants are still probably kicking their graves saying, "You stupid gits, how the hell could you do that?"
Well, it was the 1930s,
Yeah, Depression, the end of the Depression year, and the war years were coming up and everything, but yeah, $130 was a lot of money back then, but you still think after all that you tear your hair out and say, "Oh, you got to be kidding me." Poor sods. Oh well, but yes, so 1933 he was created.
Yes.
Interesting little idea, wasn't it? A chap from a planet Krypton, which was going up in flames due to natural disaster, and his father, Zor-El, and his mother decided to send him off...
Lara, yeah, that's Superman's mom's name.
And so they decide to send him off to a nice planet where he can at least try to fit in, because, well, Kryptonians are basically humanoid and everything. And Zor-El does his best to provide for his son, sending him off to Earth, even though his missus tells him, it's such a backwards, primitive planet. How's he going to fit in? He's saying...
The reason why they send him to Earth is because Earth had a yellow sun.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he would be able to become all superpowered and stuff, and he wouldn't be all...
a god among men, as he pointed out.
All that nonsense that they experienced there on Krypton.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it's rather sad, really. Zor-El was the most brightest spark there, and he knew that his planet was in trouble. And they say, no, we know everything on this planet. Nothing happens on this planet without us knowing. So you're joking and everything like that. And he discovers, he's saying, all right, fine. I will be a good Kryptonian and die with you all, but I'm not letting the next generation go. My next generation go out. So he sends young Kon-El off in a special birthing matrix chamber to Earth. It'll take him a little while, but he'll get there.
Yep. And then where does he land? Superman lands in what was it, like a cornfield
Kansas.
or something? Yeah, I know in
Kansas.
I know
Near
in
Smallville,
Kansas.
Kansas.
So yeah,
Place
Smallville,
near
that's what it was. Yeah, Smallville, Kansas.
Yep.
Yeah.
And an elderly couple by the name of Martha and Jonathan. Yeah. As he's growing up, they realize that they know he's something special because they saw him crash. And as he grows up, he gets super strength and vulnerability, and he can do a heck of a lot of interesting stuff. But he's not quite sure where it's coming from. It's only when he's about 18 they show him the rocket where he came from.
Yep. So, have you actually guys seen Smallville? The series.
I did. I watched a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got really bored.
Me too. Same.
Yeah,
me too.
Sorry.
I absolutely hated this bitch, Lana, or whatever her name was.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, can she just die?
Yeah,
yes,
me too. I got into Smallville, and then I might have watched maybe the first season of Smallville, and then after that I stopped watching, and then after that I just got lost. I can't keep up with this show anymore.
And it's interesting there that he met his enemy, friend, then his enemy, Lex Luthor.
Lex Luthor. Oh, right. I love Lex Luthor. He's the best villain. Next to Darkseid, he's the best.
He's freaking crazy. He's insane.
I don't care. He's such a good villain.
What movie was it that he goes literally crazy and he starts making out with Amanda Waller?
Oh yeah.
Ugh, I'm trying not to think about that. Oh, that's just wrong.
I felt so bad for her. She's just standing there, and then he just grabs her, and he's like...
Ugh.
Oh, please.
Oh, please. Oh,
I can't remember what movie that was, but I remember feeling traumatized.
Was that...
Yes, you're traumatizing me by telling me that.
Was that, what movie... Was that Superman, Batman, Public Enemies?
It might have been, but I would have to watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yes, so it's interesting about Lex. I'm thinking to myself, what have you got against Superman? Is it because he's got hair and you don't?
Oh my god.
At least in the original stuff, he doesn't have hair, because apparently now in the new movie that's coming out, nigga's got a full head of hair.
Yep.
Yeah. But it falls out because...
I don't know how I feel about that.
Because, I don't know, because the origins of Lex Luthor, like Superman, have changed, and, I don't know, he had an accident and lost his hair, and that's why he doesn't like talking about Smallville, because that's where it happened. Good old Lex.
Let's not forget, when Clark grows up, he gets a job as a journalist, and he works in the Daily Planet. He meets Lois
Lane!
Well, yeah, Lois. No, I'm trying to think of the cameraman. What's his name? Jimmy?
Jimmy Osmond?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
Jimmy Oswald or Oswin? How do you pronounce that name?
I think it's Jimmy. Jimmy something.
Isn't it Olsen?
Yeah, that's it, Olsen.
Olsen, yeah, there we go. Thank you.
And Perry White, his boss.
Yes.
And he adopts his secret identity of Clark Joseph Kent. That's his full adopted name.
Yes.
And he plays the mild-mannered reporter, hides behind the glasses and everything, so he acts like very humble reporter, but he gives, good advice when needed, and when trouble brews, what does he do? He uses his super speed to quickly zoom off, get changed, then come out and save the day, as it were, and then quickly zip back. And how long did this go for?
A while. Years.
Quite a while.
Years. Like, I guess up until the New 52. Yeah, what do you guys think of, Lois?
Lois Lane.
Love her.
So do I. I love her too.
I don't love her in the New 52, but I loved her in, all the original stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's really badass. Because, she was human, she didn't have powers, but she still and she still got shit done.
Yes, she still got shit done. And she had her own personal pain apart from Superman. It turned out that she and her father never actually saw eye to eye because he wanted a boy.
Yeah.
And he was a general in the army as well, so, you had to feel, sorry for her in most ways. But of course, it was always the problem. They always knew that, Superman's enemies always knew that it's always Lois Lane, you grab her or something like that because she handles his stories and everything like that he'll come racing to the rescue and then we can let him have it with whatever we've got up our sleeves.
But Lois was like that, back when, Superman started. But like when we got up to the animated series, like in the 90s, she had a character, she wasn't like this damsel in distress person 24/7. She was brave. She kicked ass when she needed to kick ass. She wasn't always the one, getting into trouble all the time. And even if she was, she was very cynical about it.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget Jimmy Olsen. He wasn't just a photographer. It turned out he had his moments as well. It turns out, when he wanted to do investigating and everything, he tried disguising himself and everything like that to give Superman a hand when he could.
Right.
No, seriously, I've seen it, Jimmy Olsen, the Adventures of Jimmy Olsen, there he is putting on a disguise saying, I'm gonna help Superman, in my own way, putting on a false mustache and stuff like this. So,
Yeah.
Of course there's Superman outside his window just listening in, making sure he's alright.
Right, yeah. And I love the Superman Lois Lane relationship. I love that so much. Nothing against, the whole New 52 with Wonder Woman and Superman, but Lois Lane and Superman, they are my OTP when it involves DC Comics. Well, one of my OTP.
And let's not forget the famous city of Metropolis, where he lives there and he works there when he's and trying to save the day most of the time.
Interestingly enough, Metropolis, Gotham, and I think Central City, they're pretty much right next to each other.
Really? How convenient.
Yeah.
So that's why Batman and Superman hang out all the time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. But, of course, in different versions, they're on other parts of all different parts of America, aren't they?
Well, if we have to talk about Superman...
but I think when she means next to each other, she just means they're located in this,
Yeah, they're around, the same vicinity, yeah.
Oh, so Metropolis is supposedly in New York.
Yeah.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
So, so Metropolis, alright, located in New York. Oh, well, that explains an awful lot. That's, naturally, of course, whenever anything big happens, it's always going to be in New York or somewhere on the coast like LA or somewhere like that. So why not Metropolis near New York?
Yep.
Alright, so there you go.
Bruce and Clark's friendship, so,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, how did that begin? They had they had, they must have, where was it? Well, what does Batman say about, Superman? He says, "It is a remarkable thing. In many ways, Clark is the most human of us all. Then he shoots fire from the sky, and it is difficult not to think of him as a god, and how fortunate we all are that it does not occur to him." You know, that, I think that's what Bruce is saying, that, Clark, you know, because he's among us all, even with these great superpowers and stuff like that, you know, he's a good guy, you know, he's a nice bloke and everything, and with all these superpowers, and, you know, and yet he doesn't let it go to his head, in other words. You know, he could be a villain if he wanted to be, but he doesn't. So I
kind of disagree on that, Thomas, because, there were times, like, even in the comics and even in, like, I'm judging from, like, the, you know, like, Justice League, the animated series, but there were times where, you know, you see Superman snap, and he could definitely, like, if he wanted to go rogue, he definitely would in a heartbeat.
Yes. There was one of the movies where that happened.
Oh, yes.
Was it one of the movies, or was it no, it was an episode of Justice League where they killed Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Or, like, fake killed Batman, and then, no, it was the Flash that they killed Wally, supposedly.
Yeah.
And, like, everybody just went crazy, and then Superman started giving lobotomies to all the supervillains.
Yeah. But mind you, you're right, there have been, versions where Superman has gone berserk and everything like that. He was influenced by, a being called Dominus, an enemy of his, gave him a super-ego, in which, you know, he was quite literally prepared to police the planet and everything using Superman robots and everything like that. And, that, took quite a while to clear up. I remember watching a series of The New Adventures of Superman where they tried to make kryptonite harmless, green kryptonite, by turning it red, and unfortunately exposure to it, turned him into a rotten guy until they did the process again.
Right.
So,
and let's not forget, the video game, Injustice. What was it? Injustice Gods? Yeah, that's also
Injustice Gods Among Us.
Yeah, that one. That's the one where, Joker, he doesn't really kill, like, Superman accidentally kills Lois and their unborn pregnant child because Joker planted a bomb inside of her or something like that. And that's where, like, you know, Superman, he basically loses all his shit and he becomes, like, really, really hostile towards everybody.
Yeah. But I suppose that's why he and Batman get along quite well, is because, you know, Batman knows what it's like, you know, to be driven completely, you know, right to the edge of, you know, you want to just splash out the world because it's so bloody unfair.
And I guess that's why, Batman has the kryptonite with him, you know, just as a safety measure, you know, in case, you know, Superman decides to go rogue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, wasn't it Superman who cheated, or he found out who Batman actually was by using his X-ray vision?
That was in the animated series. That was in the animated series crossover.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But
we'll get to that. We'll get to that crossover eventually. Like maybe that'll be probably. But
I suppose it is good for them because Superman, he can handle the things that are bigger than Batman. You know, or anything.
I think no. Batman can handle anything. Damn it, he's a goddamn Batman. He can handle anything.
Well, anything that's I suppose if he's got his hands full.
Anything, Thomas. Anything.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
Batman can handle anything.
Yes, he can handle any freaking thing.
Anything.
Whatever you can think of, Batman can do it. Okay.
I was just thinking if there were overwhelming odds, you know,
he can menstruate. He can give birth. Okay. He can shed fur. He can clean a house expertly because he's Batman.
Okay, yes, but I was just saying
that... He can probably bake a cake better than Chef Ramsay.
Yes, I know. Well, actually, no, Superman could do that because he has his heat vision eyes, you know, so he can cook the cake. He doesn't even need to put it in an oven.
Superman would burn it.
Yeah, true.
Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, aren't they the founding members of the Justice League?
I wouldn't say they're the founding members because in all the different origin stories that I've seen, it's always been them three plus like the Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman that they all decide together to create it. But
yes.
I feel like Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman are kind of like the unofficial leaders.
Yeah,
even though they don't have leaders, because everybody's equal in all the decisions that they make.
I'm just looking up
but
here.
But everybody tends to look up to them. At least that's how I feel.
Well, yeah, I mean, they are the DC Trinity, so, I mean, they're the ones that started everything.
Yeah. It says here the Justice League was formed by, in case you, my notes here, people, for the listeners, it says here that Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Aquaman, and Martian Manhunter, formed the, Justice League of America, or the JLA.
Right. But we'll get to that later when we get to that.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about the interesting enemies he comes up across. Because every superhero.
Besides Lex Luthor,
like Brainiac.
Yes.
Brainiac, Darkseid, is that it?
Yes.
Oh yes, Darkseid. How could we forget about Darkseid? That little bitch.
Well, how about that big bulldog instead? Because he runs the place. He's a charming man in a charming place.
Calabac, Darkseid's son.
Oh yes. Indeed, and let's not forget, let's see, apparently Chemico, the living chemical monster, Mr. Mxyzptlk from the Fifth Dimension. He comes every 90 days, and apparently one of Superman's weaknesses is that he can't stand his magic, as it turns out.
Yeah, oh right, Superman's is kind of vulnerable to magic, as well as kryptonite.
Yes, and it turns out...
Bizarro! We forgot about Bizarro.
Oh, yes,
right, Bizarro,
the imperfect clone of Superman, made first by Lex Luthor.
Doomsday. Did we mention Doomsday already?
Yes,
oh,
Doomsday.
Right, Doomsday.
The creature that
killed him.
Killed Superman.
Yeah.
There's General Zod, Faora.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, General Zod. We'll get to Man of Steel. I can't wait for that. Talking about Man of Steel.
Parasite.
Oh, yeah, Parasite, yeah.
In the comics, there was also a couple of villains created by the Joker when he stole Mr. Mxyzptlk's powers. He created Cancer and Ignition.
Oh, right, Ultraman, yeah.
Oh, yes, that's the alternative version of Superman.
Yeah, but that still counts.
Yeah. Oh, yes, and let's not forget Supes' main enemy, Kryptonite, the substance from his own planet.
I just think that's lame to give him a weakness. I don't know, because
it's because when he was first created, he just didn't he was too overpowered and he was boring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I
they
guess.
had to give something as a weakness, and that's why they made Kryptonite. I mean, obviously now that they've developed the character, he has a lot of other things that could bring him down.
Right.
Or, possibly wound him and things like that. But in the beginning, there was Kryptonite, and we can't seem to get rid of that shit.
Right?
Even though it's supposed to be extraordinarily rare in the DC universe, because, it came from a planet and it blows up, but I suppose, you can make it artificially or something like that, or you find a great big chunk of it.
Batman has a storage of kryptonite in the Batcave, so...
Mm-hmm.
Well, like we said, Batman can do anything.
Let's see. Superman pissed me off. Let's crush this kryptonite and put it on his present.
Oh, come on. You can't do that. That's cruel and unusual punishment. But let's see. Green kryptonite is lethal and will cause him to eventually die if exposed to it too long. What does red kryptonite do? Red kryptonite strips him of his abilities, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So long as it's around him.
It's pretty much, red kryptonite is pretty much like the red sun. That it'll totally drain him.
Yeah. Let's see. It says here, gold kryptonite takes away his powers completely, and and also sometimes his enemies have actually pulled a fast one on him by turning our sun red instead of yellow, so everyone else has got the super abilities, and he's just left as a nobody.
Right. Cool. Yeah, so is that it with Superman? We can go on to Superboy or Connor?
Oh, yes. Let's not...
Go ahead, Iris. Go ahead.
Oh, I was thinking about Connor.
Oh, you are?
About how he love child between Superman and Lex Luthor.
Yes!
And Superman's into his dad.
Where the hell did that come from?
No, I'm so serious, Thomas.
That's how Connor was created.
He steals Superman's DNA, and he takes that DNA along with his own to create Superboy.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I kind of agree with you. That whole thing on the internet saying that Connor is Superman and Lex Luthor's love child. That's like the best way to explain it. Yeah. I'm so annoyed with Young Justice that they didn't do this in the show, but I love Connor and Tim's friendship. That friendship is like one of the best things.
So good.
I know, it's like, and I hate that Young Justice didn't do that. I'm like, when season 2 happened in the Young Justice animated series, you had Connor, you had Tim. It's like, where is this awesome friendship?
Oh,
No,
but there are 2 versions of Superboy.
Yeah, true.
Oh, right, yeah.
The original version was
Connor
literally
and
just
Matt.
a younger version of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then the one that we know is Kon-El, who was created by Cadmus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So so it goes to show that even a guy like Lex Luthor can learn his lesson, because when he did try and first clone Superman, he didn't realize that when you're dealing with an alien, not your cloning technique might be wrong, and that's why Bizarro.
Didn't Connor die in what was it, Infinite Crisis? Was it Infinite
I think
Crisis?
so. Hasn't he died like 5 times?
Connor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's a
No,
problem.
I feel like he's died a lot.
Yeah, there's a problem with doing crises on Infinite Earths and Infinite Crisis and stuff like that. People die, they come back, because you reset reality, this, that, the other, and you think to yourself, man, you've got to be real careful when you reset reality these days.
Iris, you're right. He just recently died in the New 52.
Again, poor fellow.
It's like, what the hell? Why would you kill him off? You're right.
Yes.
You're right. He does keep dying.
Okay. So, yes, it's not easy when you did he know he was a clone at first?
I think so.
You think
No,
so?
at least from what I've been reading, it seems like he's always known that he was created.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right, Iris. He was aware. You're right. Connor formed the Young Justice team with Robin, Tim Drake, and Impulse. And then, I guess after the Young Justice League, they took over Teen Titans because, the previous, Starfire, well, no, wasn't, who was in Teen Titans, Iris? It was Connor, Tim, Wonder Girl, freaking Cassie, I hate her so much. I don't like Cassie at all, but we'll get to that when we get to that, just because of the nonsense that she does. It was Connor, Tim, Cassie, I think Beast Boy and Raven. When
yeah, I think it was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when Cyborg, Star, and when they went their separate ways.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a shame. They did quite well. But, nothing, but then again, teams have got to, get changes and everything on that. But they always come back, when they're truly needed.
And like me and Iris said, Connor and Tim's friendship was just so amazing. Like, I would actually put that, maybe as, the number 1 friendship in the entire DC Comics. Like, their friendship was, so good. Like, I understand, people are online, they ship them, but they ship them for, reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There are reasons why people ship them. I kind of ship them, but not in that, sexualized way, like everybody else ships them, but I ship them as, really, really good friends.
Okay.
They're awesome. They're awesome bros to each other. And,
well, that's what heroes are supposed to be, good friends, just remember, there is no I in TEAM.
And when Superboy, when Connor died, Tim, he was devastated, and that's why, his Robin costume is black and red, because he wanted to emulate, Superboy's colors, because, that's his best friend.
But Connor, he has all the abilities of Superman, doesn't he? He can fly, he can do the, X-ray vision and all the rest, can't he? As he's the clone of Superman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I think he's he's like Gohan, that he has that untapped potential, that if he really pushes himself, he's super hardcore badass type of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I can believe that too. Let's see, who's,
I think that one of his main enemies would be Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I suppose so, because,
yeah.
You are mine, I own you, or something like that, he believes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did something like that in Young Justice, the animated show, and then the show got canceled, and it's god damn it.
Are you out of your minds?
No, we'll get to that when we get to it. We'll get to it when, we talk about everything else DC, because I have stuff to say about Cartoon Network. It's just
Alright. Okay, so we've talked about Connor. Anything else you want to add to it about him?
Go ahead, Iris.
In the New 52, he's the clone of Superman and Lois Lane's son.
Really?
Yes, John Lane Kent.
Huh. Well, I don't read the Superboy comics, so it's
Yeah, I don't read them either.
Yeah, I don't even read the Teen Titans comics, so, like, I don't know what's going on with Tim and Connor and their friendship in the New 52. I don't even know if it's there. Me either. Like, it was very hard for me to get, and I mean, I read, like, maybe a couple issues, like, I read, like, Raven's introduction. I read when, you know, Tim was kind of going psycho after Damien died, like, I read that, but, like, Connor and Tim's friendship, it's really not there anymore in the New 52, and that's what really, really, really annoys me. It's like, God damn it, DC. Do you have anything to say about their friendship, Iris?
About whose friendship?
Tim and Connor.
Oh, nothing. Like you said, it's one of the best friendships that they have in this series. And, you know, like when Connor comes back and then Tim, like, breaks down and hugs him.
Yeah.
It was really good.
It's really, really good.
Yeah, good pals between heroes, you know, it's a very rare thing these days, but you know, so you know, make it last and it really works.
Like, I mean, to be honest, like, my knowledge of Superboy is really, really limited. Like, I only know him because of Tim, and I know Connor through the Young Justice animated series, but, you know, other than that, like, my knowledge about him, like, through the comics is, like, really, really limited. And I know, like, Connor's had, like, 50 billion relationships.
So that's it with Connor, is it? So who's next on the Superman?
Power Girl and Supergirl.
Yeah, yes. We'll get some females up in here.
Yes, Supergirl, also known as
They
Matrix.
are the same person.
They are.
Only Power Girl is from Earth 2.
Yes.
Because she went through some sort of portal along with the Huntress, and they created new identities as they tried to search for a way back to their regular Earth.
Yes.
So Kara decided instead of Supergirl, she was going to be Power Girl.
Yes.
Well, that makes sense. So technically, Power Girl is not really Superman's cousin, in other words.
No, she is.
She is.
But whatever Earth she was on, something happened with her and Helena, and they end up in an alternate universe.
Yeah.
And so as they're searching for a way back to their homes, they take on new identities, where Helena becomes the Huntress of that world, and then Supergirl, instead of staying as Supergirl, she becomes Power Girl.
All right. Okay, that's all right. So what about?
Did we just dash your dreams about Power Girl, Thomas? Because
No, you just confused. No, you just confused. No, you just confused me. That's all. Because you just confused me. That's all. So if that's the case, so what about Supergirl Matrix then, or Supergirl / Matrix as she's known as?
You mean Kara Zor-El?
Matrix. I'm clicking on her now.
Yeah.
Yes.
But anyways, the typical origin of Supergirl is that she's Superman's older cousin, and her escape or whatever happened with her ended up keeping her looking like a teenage girl. Like, she didn't age or anything like that. She ends up training with Wonder Woman for a while, and all this other nonsense. And so even though she's older than Superman, he always treats her like, you know, a little kid.
Right. Iris, have you seen the Supergirl movie, the animated one?
Isn't that the Superman Batman Apocalypse?
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that movie. That movie was so good. That movie was really, really good.
I'm afraid I haven't seen that one yet. So
you have to watch that movie, Thomas, because it brings back Kevin Conroy and what was his name, Tim Daly from the Batman and Superman animated series. They bring back the original voice actors of the animated series. Like, even Wonder Woman has her original voice from Justice League, the animated series.
So Matrix, Thomas, is from a pocket universe.
Yep.
And it says here that some Kryptonian criminals escaped from the Phantom Zone.
Yes, mirror versions of General Zod and two of his followers.
Right.
Yes.
And so Lex Luthor, he could see with his inventions into the mainstream universe. Mm-hmm. And he had this chick that he named Matrix go into the mainstream universe and recruit Superman to come back and fight for them to save them from these Kryptonian criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What do we think of that, people?
I think I really like Supergirl. I like her new outfit in the new 52, and I'm super excited because they're planning to do a live action TV show of her.
Yes, I can't wait. Like a lot of good things are happening with DC Comics, but we'll get to that.
Let's see. Apparently, what are her abilities? She can do most of the things that Superman can do: flight, invulnerability, superhuman speed, strength, agility. Apparently, she's also got psychokinesis, telekinesis, and she has the ability to shapeshift. Minor changes in coloration and facial features were relatively effortless, but significant changes in size, build, or gender were apparently quite strenuous. So she could, make slight alterations, but total alterations, took a, like flexing a muscle, she couldn't do it completely.
Right.
It says here she could... Sorry?
Oh, sorry. No, because I was thinking about Matrix again, and so Matrix... She kept disguising herself as different people. She disguised herself as Clark. She disguised herself as her son.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And it turns out she can also use energy projection, could focus her telekinesis into devastating force blasts, and she can make extend a psionic barrier around others to shield them from harm. And her weakness is her stamina. She's vulnerable to fatigue. While probably greater than humans, it's not unlimited. She was vulnerable to fatigue and to physical and emotional stress.
Of course, kryptonite.
Of course, yeah.
Of course. You can't, that's how you know it's a genuine Kryptonian when they can't stand kryptonite.
But I mean, I like you said, Iris, I mean, I like Supergirl too, it's like, DC is like such a ginormous sausage fest with them, all these male characters, it's nice to see like a female character, like at least like, other than Wonder Woman, kicking ass.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it makes sense, really. You've got to have a Supergirl somewhere along the line, don't you? It seems to make sense, so we're evening up the odds, as it were.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, have you guys watched any of the original Superman movies?
Yes, I have. I've seen Superman 1 and 2, but then after that, I decided, how can you do any better than that? So I just stick with those two.
So, the original movies with, I can't remember who.
Christopher Reeve, the late great Christopher Reeve.
Yes, with him, that
Marlon
he was
Brando.
absolutely amazing.
Gene
After
Hackman.
he got all messed up from his accident, they tried making a few other movies, and they just could not.
Yeah.
They did so bad into the Superman Returns movie. Was just so awful.
It was so bad, I know. It was so bad.
It was absolutely awful. So that's why everybody was so nervous when Zack Snyder decided that he was going to make Man of Steel. And it was like, okay, are they actually going to do this? Like, are they really going to, be successful in making a Superman movie? I remember being very skeptical about it.
Me too.
And, I went, even though I really liked the movie, there were some things that were kind of off.
Yeah.
But the first time making the Superman movie in almost like 6 years, in 7 years, it was really good.
Yeah,
they did a good job, and I'm very excited to see what they're going to do
with the
now with
the movie.
Yeah, Batman versus Superman, or Superman versus Batman, however they want to call it.
And to any of the creators out there who are listening, don't screw it up, you guys.
I think they have enough pressure on their hands, but Thomas, have you seen Man of Steel?
No, sadly not as of yet. I'm aware of it.
Talking to me, I'm not really like such a hardcore Superman fan like, you guys are, but I'm not. And I went to watch the movie, so I'm sure you can watch the movie. You can watch the movie too, because Man of Steel was just.
Well, Thomas will watch Superman, and you'll watch Marvel.
I will.
Yeah, that's what I'm planning on doing when I'm done with school.
Okay.
That's Man of Steel.
Mhm.
Oh yes, so
go ahead, fangirl over Henry Cavill.
So this bitch was just like super, 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 super fucking handsome.
He is. Oh.
Like, that's probably one of the best parts of the movie. Seeing him shirtless, seeing him with a beard, seeing him with clothes on, seeing him flying, seeing him do everything.
The guy playing General Zod, I take it?
No. Henry Cavill, the guy playing Superman.
Oh, alright, sorry. Carry on.
Go ahead.
What else? Okay, here's the things that I can remember right now that I had a problem with. I had a problem with the whole scene where Superman gets his outfit.
Yes.
Because, Thomas, you haven't seen the movie, but he goes up into the Arctic, if I remember correctly, and they find a Kryptonian ship that's been there for, like, millennia, according to them. He goes on the ship, and then suddenly his dad's, like, hologram is there. Mm-hmm. Even though his dad did not make that ship, from what I understood, his dad had nothing to do with it. And this was before their time. But somehow his dad is on there in holographic form, and then, or actually no, that was because he put his ring in. Right. But the Superman suit was in there. Like perfectly preserved.
How convenient.
Right, yeah, that was the only thing that, I agree. I agree with
extreme.
I agree with, it was way too convenient. Go ahead.
The other thing that I had an issue with was General Zod adjusting way too quickly to Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah.
How long did it take Clark?
Because it showed that the Kryptonians that they had never been on Earth before. They didn't breathe the air and stuff. So when they took off their masks, they were all like fucked up and stuff.
Yeah.
But General Zod is in the middle of fighting Superman when his mask gets busted up, and then suddenly, like 2 seconds later, he's okay. Yeah. One of my friends was like, "Well, he's a fighter and all this other stuff. That's why." But I don't know. Yeah. I feel like it's too fast. The adjustment.
It did. So you're okay with Superman killing off General Zod at the end of the movie?
I thought that was a great moment.
So did I. I don't know why people are bitching about it on the internet. It's like, it's something that he had to do.
Well, they probably thought, he had such potential. What a waste to kill him off for the first time.
And it's not like he enjoyed it. He breaks down.
Exactly.
He does it. And he wasn't planning to, but because Zod was about to kill, like, this family, Superman did what he felt he had to do.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter because there'll be plenty of other guys who will hate his guts out and come and get him anyway.
Right, but like I said before, that's the thing with Superman. If you push him too far, he will kill you. Like, and I'm going off topic, but Batman, he will not kill no matter what you do. Nothing you do will make him kill somebody. Mm-hmm. But Superman, if he's pushed too far, he will be ready to kill someone.
Yeah. True, yeah, it's true. Rather reluctantly, when he realises what he's just done, but sometimes that's the thing about being a hero, you've got to make the real tough decisions.
Right. Mm-hmm. So, is that it pretty much for Man of Steel, Iris? So, who are your guys' favorite Superman characters?
Oh, favourite Superman characters. Let's see. I quite enjoy Mr. Mxyzptlk from the Fifth Dimension. I quite enjoy him because he gives Superman a run for his money with his magic and everything like that. And what Superman has to do is not use his abilities. What he's got to do is try and trick him into saying his name backwards. And it reminds me of the very first comic I read where he peered at him. And Superman tricked him about 3 good times in the comic. It was like, because after he says his name, he goes back to the Fifth Dimension where he comes from for 90 days before he can come back. And so when Superman runs into him, he pretends to be Clark Kent. He deliberately gets the letters he needs for his alphabet soup. And as his enemy is having his lunch, he says, sorry, my glass is steamed up. Can you tell me, can you read those letters to me, in my alphabet soup? He says, certainly. He reads them and he sees his name backwards. And he disappears saying, oh, you bastard, you must work for Superman! Or something like that. Or another time, when he comes back, he makes him think he needs glasses and he disguises himself as an optometrist and he says, could you read the chart, please? And he says his name backwards as he spells out the letters.
So you like Mr. Mxyzptlk, or however the hell you pronounce his name. Anybody else?
Let's see, I like Parasite. Parasite was an interesting creature. It absorbed the life energy of others and stuff like that. It was a very, very interesting way of getting around life and everything like that. Who else? Favourite characters. I found Doomsday rather intriguing. He was a very interesting creature. A thing that killed Superman, ironically, was from a being that had been experimenting on Krypton at the time. And it was the only creature that actually killed Superman, and the worst part of it was you couldn't get rid of it the same way twice, and every time it would evolve any immunity to how it had been destroyed the first time. And it was the only creature that really scared Superman shitless.
So you basically like all the villains that tried to kill Superman.
Well, not the villains. Well, because they don't succeed. Mitzi Pitalicki doesn't actually kill Superman. He just does it to annoy him, really.
Well, you know, I mean, like you pretty much like all the bad guys, pretty much, like all the villains.
They're so colourful. All right, then Power Girl. Then, if you really must know.
Yes, I know about you and Power Girl.
I wish. I'm
curious, Thomas, what attracts you to her? Please do not say her oversized, ginormous fan service boobs.
No, I wasn't going to. I don't know. It's not her. It's always, when I notice a pretty girl, even in comics and something, it's always the face that gets me first. Their lovely smiling face or something like that. No, it's just something that stands out about her. But I'm thinking to myself, lady, if you don't want, if you don't want guys staring, then don't wear such a flaky outfit. Try something different. But I'm thinking, but if it's who you are, then I can't got nothing against it. I swear I didn't look. I swear. I'd take my glasses off. I can't see.
I'm pretty sure that even if you're blind, you could see her boobs.
Exactly.
No, but...
You know the origin of her boobs?
I dread to ask this. Why?
The artist who was drawing her at the time, every issue he would draw her breasts bigger and bigger to see, like, if anybody would notice.
Yeah, they noticed, didn't they? No, they certainly did. But then again, you have to be blind. Well, except people who are blind, they can't really notice now, can they? But, no, I don't know. It's just something about it just stands out that I really enjoy, and it's not just her assets, as it were, alright?
I guess I'll go because, like I said before, I'm not really that much of a hardcore Superman fan, but I do love Lois. I love Lois so much. She was before she was just a damsel in distress, and now she's just a well thought out character. She is. She has so much sass. I love her sassiness in the animated series. I love that so much. I don't know what's happening to her in the New 52, and I really don't care about that. Like the New 52 version of Lois. Because to me, what stands out to me with her is from the animated series and the old comics and, their relationship. I love that so much. My other favorite character would definitely have to be Darkseid. And Lex Luthor. I can't choose between the two. Like those two villains, I love them so much. It's just Darkseid, he's just this, this god who just wants, everybody to follow his rule. And
he's just so badass.
He is! It's like, damn it, Darkseid.
Yes, I forgot to mention him. Yeah, he wants his anti-life equation, whatever that is, and he has the ultimate weapon, his Omega Beam effects, something which can zap anyone out of existence or bring them back whenever he wants to.
Yeah, exactly. And go ahead, Thomas.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, let's not forget Crypto, his dog, Superman's dog.
Oh yeah, the dog, and I don't even know if he exists in the New 52.
Yes, I know, I forgot, he's one of my favourite characters because he actually attacked one of Superman's enemies, Mongol, and poor old Superman had to rip it off his neck. He was like, get off there, Crypto, let him live.
Freaking Crypto. I do like Crypto also, cause I just love dogs, and Crypto is such a really nice dog.
Lois... Yeah, but unfortunately, Lois only had him in her apartment once, and he wrecked it some. And so, there's a nice picture of her telling Crypto off after he's done all his superpowered stuff on the apartment. She's treating it like a normal dog, saying, this is not your room. You're not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah. So Lois, Darkseid, and Luthor, and Crypto for me. What about you, Iris?
Darkseid is definitely one of my favorite Superman characters. As we mentioned, he's a badass.
Yeah, he is.
And of course, you can't love Darkseid and not love Granny Goodness at the same time.
Oh my god, yes, Granny
Goodness is so freaking awesome. Like, she's such a bitch, but she's just so cool. Like, oh my goodness, freaking Granny Goodness, man. Like, Granny Goodness. It's like, what can you say about Granny Goodness?
That her name is totally wrong, of course, but
she really is. But she's just so amazing, and she's like this old woman, and she just kicks ass.
Yeah, of course she does,
and I guess Connor.
Yeah, you like
if I had to choose somebody who was good, Connor, because I really liked him in Young Justice.
Yeah, it's just
and
that
the Teen Titan comics.
Yeah, I know, it sucks that...
The original ones.
Yeah, it sucks that in, Young Justice, they didn't go into deeper with his character, because, freaking Young Justice. Like, season 2 of Young Justice was such a mess. Ugh. But we'll get to that, next time, or later down the road. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anything else? What about, favorite ships are kind of implied, like, I like, Clark and Lois.
Superman and Wonder Woman.
That's the new 52 these days.
Okay, I want to know why, Iris, because, I don't know, like me, like...
It's because...
Yes?
Go ahead.
They're just so perfect together. Like, it's just, they balance each other out.
That's a good point. True, they do.
They really balance each other out. She's really strong, he's really strong, but at the same time, they can be very tender towards one another, and they do the little things for each other. There's one, I can't remember which it was in the New 52, obviously, but there's one issue where they're getting blown up by something, and Superman just covers her with his cape. And so she comes out like unscratched, but then he's all like completely fucked up, looking like a skeleton.
Of course.
And then she grabs him and she carries him to the lights and all this. It's just, I don't know. They're just really good together, and they have a really good amount of sass.
Right.
So, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, Superman and Lois Lane are classic. You gotta love that too.
Right.
But if I had to pick like two superheroes to put together, that's the perfect ship.
Mm-hmm.
For me.
I guess, with me, like, I would have to read, the New 52 stuff with Superman and Wonder Woman. Maybe, I'll, grow to like it. But for now, my ship is Lois and Clark. That's my ship right now. What about you, Thomas?
Yeah, well, just most Lois and Clark. But if you want friendships, I would have to say Batman and Superman. They do pretty good, they're pretty good together, as good pals. I remember reading this one time, they both go into this bar or something like that after one particularly harrowing adventure, and they order a couple of drinks, and a couple of tough guys who seem to recognize them, although they're having a bet as to, if they're the real deal, try and attack them, and they're both sitting having a conversation with each other, and they're casually beating the shit out of the guys as they keep coming to have a go at them, and just Superman saying, I wonder where our drinks got to. And at the end of it, as they're leaving, Clark uses his heat vision to destroy the guy's money that he put down, so he didn't get to enjoy his winnings. Because, he didn't like the fact that, these guys were betting on the real deal. Oh, we're the real deal, all right, and he zapped the guy's money to prove it. I like that good buddy talk. They're just having a good talk and wondering where the hell their drinks are, and when they didn't get it, they think, oh, bugger, it will go. They knew that they were there, that they were being attacked.
Friends, yeah. They are really good friends.
That really stuck out with me.
Wait, who's really good friends?
Bruce and Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Good pals, yeah.
They are. They're the most important ship. Above Superman and whatever girl he's with, Batman with whatever girl he's with. Superman and Batman are the most important ship of the New 52 and of the old stuff.
Yeah. Except, when you think about it, they didn't start that too far away. Let's see, Superman originally, when he first appeared in 1938, and 2 years later we get Batman, so that's not too bad, is it?
We'll get to Batman last. Do you own anything, Thomas? Because I just own
specifically Superman related.
Yeah, just Superman related.
I own the two DVD versions of the first two Superman movies that have been autographed by Margot Kidder, who played the original Lois Lane.
Okay, yeah.
So,
and I just own the pop vinyl Man of Steel Superman figure.
Oh, and and I own the Batman Superman animated crossover because how could I live without that?
I guess that counts too. What about you, Iris? Anything?
I have a ton of DC stuff, but I don't have anything specifically
Superman related.
So I'll wait to mention the stuff that I have in the appropriate podcast.
Right. Okay, we're done. We're done for today.
So thank you. Oh.
Next time, we
get
to talk about Wonder Woman. So yay!
Yes.
We won't reveal any news regarding Wonder Woman, but you guys out there on the internet probably know the news that I'm thinking of right now.
So that's the Fandom Symposium. This has been Thomas, Drovin, Future723, and Iris. Thanks, girls.
Bye, everybody out there from the internet. Yeah, it
was
fun. Next time on the Fandom Symposium, we're talking about Wonder Woman.